You don't even know that? Typical high school dropout. How have you been surviving all this time? Susanna, my sister-in-law, always made fun of my educational background. She seemed to think that education was the most important thing in life, ignoring the fact that there are many other important aspects. My name is Rosalind, and I'm a 28-year-old CEO of an IT company. I met my husband, Clifton, through work, and we eventually got married. We currently rent a condo and live together. We both have incomes, so whoever can do the housework does it. However, I rarely have days off and usually get home late, so Clifton ends up doing most of the housework. Despite his own busy schedule, he never complains and takes care of everything. He never gets mad at me for focusing on my job and always encourages me, saying, "I'm rooting for you." I felt blessed to be married to someone like Clifton. Life with Clifton was comfortable and peaceful. The only issue was Susanna, my sister-in-law. When I first met her after getting engaged to Clifton, I greeted her, "Nice to meet you, Susanna. I'm Rosalind. Looking forward to getting to know you." Her immediate response was, "What's your highest level of education?" I was taken aback. Was that really the first thing to ask? I was annoyed but didn't want to make a scene at our first meeting, so I answered honestly. I dropped out. Upon hearing this, Susanna burst into laughter. "A dropout? Why would my brother marry someone so dumb? You should definitely reconsider." She said this right in front of me. "Susanna, what are you saying? Education has nothing to do with marriage," Clifton quickly retorted. "We are an elite family, you know. It's unacceptable for the eldest son's wife to be dumb. Maybe you should rethink this, bro, huh?" It was true. Clifton's parents were well-educated and wealthy, and both he and Susanna had graduated from prestigious universities. "Susanna, cut it out. Rosalind built her own company from scratch. Are you still going to talk about education? People who drop out are the ones who think they can start companies." "Hey, watch your mouth. Your company will probably go under soon anyway." Enough is enough. Clifton was getting really angry on my behalf. I was so furious, but I didn't want to cause a sibling fight, so I stopped Clifton. "It's okay, Clifton. I can handle it. I had faced similar criticisms when starting my company, so I was somewhat used to it. In fact, it fueled my determination to prove them wrong. I could tolerate Susanna's snide remarks once or twice, but it didn't stop there. "Sister-in-law, I'm here to visit." Susanna often came over to our house to mock me for being a dropout, make snide comments, and even brag about herself. "You're here again, Susanna? Is it a problem?" "No, not really. But..." Susanna looked around our home and said, "Do you even do housework, sister-in-law?" "I do. We are dual income, so Clifton takes care of it often." "My poor brother. Having a wife like you must be tough." "What do you mean? You're dumb but still working, and because of that, you can't even do housework properly, right?" "If you're a dropout, you should just be a stay-at-home wife." At this point, I was getting really angry at Susanna's words. "So, how is your company doing, sister-in-law?" I wondered why I had to share such information with her, but I answered anyway. "It's going pretty well, I think." "Really?" "You must be running at a loss." "That's not the case. I thought you'd go under sooner, but you are hanging in there." "Thanks." "And it's surprising that employees are willing to work under a dropout CEO. I would never." I couldn't take it anymore, so I decided to change the subject. "Aren't you planning to get a job, Susanna?" She had graduated last year, but still hadn't found a job. "I don't need to worry. Unlike you, I graduated from a prestigious university. I'm taking my time to find a good company. Oh, I see. All my friends are working at big companies. My university is really something. And there she went, bragging about herself again. A lot of people from my university get jobs at big companies, and many became CEOs. Susanna kept making snide remarks and bragging every time she visited. It was more bearable when Clifton was around to defend me, but it was really tough when I was alone. I didn't know what she might say to my in-laws, so all I could do was endure it. As much as I could turn frustration into motivation, I was getting tired of Susanna's relentless jabs. Then, one day, she suddenly announced she was getting married. Oh, you're getting married. Congratulations. Thank you. My fiancé is a Harvard graduate and very accomplished. Oh, I see. I couldn't help but think she chose her partner based solely on education. What does he do for a living? He is in IT, and he works for a pretty good company. I see. It's not a big corporation, but it's a rapidly growing company that's quite famous around here. Ah, okay. And they have a very competent female CEO. Nothing like you, the dropout CEO. None of your business. Do your best to keep your company from going under. She was even more obnoxious than usual, perhaps because she was excited about her upcoming marriage. Oh, and please don't come to the wedding. Why not? If his family finds out there's a dropout among us, the engagement might be called off. You wouldn't want that on your conscience, would you? I was dumbfounded by her ridiculous statement. Why would your engagement be called off just because I'm a dropout? That's absurd. I don't know. I just want to eliminate any risk factors, so please don't come. Fine. On the day of the wedding, I was actually considering not going since Susanna told me not to. But Clifton was angry, saying, "She's family. It would be weird not to go. What is she thinking?" So I decided to attend Susanna's wedding. However, when I arrived at the venue, she rushed over to me, saying, "Why are you here, sister-in-law? You weren't invited. Please leave immediately." Susanna ran up to me and tried to kick me out. "We don't even have a seat for you. It would be inconvenient if you stayed." "Enough, Susanna! Stop it!" As Clifton was about to get angry, the groom's parents came from behind and said, "Oh, you're here, CEO." They bowed their heads to me. "We're always grateful for how you take care of our son." Both of them bowed to me. No, the pleasure is mine. Congratulations on this occasion." Susanna looked stunned at the exchange between me and the groom's parents. "Wait, what's going on? Do you know each other?" I had no choice but to explain. "Your husband, Victor, works for me." "What do you mean?" Whether she didn't want to believe it or was just too shocked to understand, Susanna seemed clueless. "So, I'm the CEO of the company where Victor works." "The competent female CEO you were talking about? That's me." "What? No way!" Finally, grasping the situation, Susanna was visibly flustered. "That's a lie! There's no way!" "It's not a lie. Victor told me about the engagement recently. It's a small world." "I don't believe you." Susanna didn't want to accept this fact and stubbornly refused to believe it. Just then, Victor arrived. "What's going on?" He seemed to have rushed over, sensing some sort of commotion. "Nothing, it's fine." I decided to brush it off, not wanting to make a scene. "Anyway, thank you for coming, boss." Victor bowed deeply to me. "Of course, I am happy to attend your wedding, Victor." That's it. Hearing Victor call me boss, Susanna finally seemed to believe it. She was at a loss for words. "Your seat is prepared over there, boss." "Thank you." It turned out Victor had prepared a seat for me, even though Susanna hadn't. I wasn't invited by you, but I was by Victor. For the rest of the wedding, Susanna's face was tense. She even tripped while walking down the aisle, making for an awkward scene. Victor was also upset with her, saying, "What's gotten into you today?" I couldn't help but laugh at Susanna's sudden change in attitude. "I'm sorry for the terrible things I've said before, but I've always thought you were amazing, sister-in-law." I could only respond with a wry smile. "Is that so? You are a CEO while balancing work and home life. That's incredible." "Ah, thank you. You've built a successful company despite being a dropout." I was slightly irritated, expecting her to bring up education again. "Being a dropout has nothing to do with it." When I responded a bit strongly, Susanna immediately apologized. "Oh, sorry, you're right, it doesn't matter." Maybe she was worried about upsetting me and jeopardizing her husband's job. She started trying to win me over. "There are many things more important than education." "Exactly, you can always study. Being a dropout doesn't mean you can't be a CEO." "You're so right. I admire you." "Ah, sure." It felt strange to hear such words from Susanna. I had to laugh a few times, but it was better than being belittled or hearing snide remarks. After that, Susanna was planning to start her own business instead of getting a job. She was flattering me on the surface, but she must have been frustrated deep down. Since my sister-in-law, a dropout, could do it, there is no reason I can't. Susanna probably thought that way, but she gave up on her business venture within a few months. "So, you tried starting a business? How'd it go?" I deliberately asked Susanna after hearing from Clifton that she had given up. "Not so well." "Oh, really? I realized once again how amazing you are. Good to hear." Susanna was smiling and talking cheerfully, but her expression was tense. She must have been quite frustrated. She then tried to find a regular job, but had no luck. Then she said she wanted to join my company. "You want to work at my company?" "Yes, please." She probably thought she'd get hired easily through connections. "I've always wanted to work here." She even told such an obvious lie. "Weren't you the one who said you didn't want to work under a dropout CEO?" When I said that, she tried to dodge. "Did I say that? Must have been my imagination." I wasn't going to forget that. At that point, I didn't want to work with her, but I decided to ask her some more questions. "So, what qualifications do you have, Susanna?" "Qualifications? We are an IT company, so having IT-related qualifications would help, but it's fine if you don't." Not really." "Did you not get any qualifications in college?" "I have some, but..." The qualifications she got in college were trivial and easily obtainable by anyone. "So, what can you contribute to the company?" Nothing, really." I could see why she was having a hard time finding a job despite graduating from a prestigious university. "What did you study in college? Or did you just play around for 4 years?" "I was an excellent student." Being good at school doesn't mean you are good at work. Companies don't need people like that. I was just giving my opinion as a CEO, but Susanna got angry. "Don't belittle me. I have a degree. I have confidence that I'm better than most people." That's called baseless confidence. We hire based on ability, not education. Sorry, you're not a fit. "What? So we can't hire you?" "That's ridiculous! Why wouldn't you hire me?" She was furious, probably because she was rejected by a dropout like me. "It's fair. You've been rejected by every company you applied to, right?" "Well, that's... Victor is doing well, and we are paying him a decent salary. You could live on his income alone. Why not be a housewife?" I can't believe this. Just give up on finding a job. After that, Susanna gave up on employment and became a housewife. Just like I suggested. but she couldn't cook or even do laundry. She had always relied on others and never did anything herself. It seems like Susanna couldn't even become a housewife. Even Victor was getting frustrated with her. Now she's learning housework while getting scolded by Victor's mom every day. Who knows when she'll become a competent housewife? Her friends made snide comments. You graduated from college but couldn't find a job and had to become a housewife? How embarrassing! It must have been a huge blow to her pride. She became quite depressed and lost her energy. On the other hand, everything's going well for me. The company is growing, we are hiring more staff, and my workload had decreased. I've even managed to catch up on housework and cooking. The only stressor, Susanna, has quieted down, so I'm living fulfilling days.